Way I'm swinging today, nothing bugs me except insufficient applause. Hey, give me the lumber.
I think you want to hit the 2 iron, boss.
There may not be a more dangerous phrase in marketing campaigns today than the simple phrase, I think it will work.
You want the driver? Here. Hit the driver, tin cup.
But do you know why a phrase like, I think it will work, is so difficult, so dangerous, so hard to overcome today? Let's find out. Hi, I'm James Callahan, and this is the Do-Over Show, where we have all learned firsthand the mistakes that come from using a phrase like, I think it will work, and then things don't work. This one will be quick. Let me start with a story. I just finished a meeting about an upcoming event, a planning meeting. It involved people from operations, event planning, people about the physical space, catering, and marketing, getting people to show up for an event, for a community-based event. And as we went around the room and everybody explained why they were going to use the best practice here, they were going to do that in all of their fields, operations, everybody added their expertise. When it came to marketing and my contribution, everybody started to have different ideas, their own ideas. I saw that. I think we should do that. We should change the color of this. We should do this rather than that. Everybody had an expert opinion. So instead of objecting and saying, I was the area expert, I asked a question. When someone said, we should try this, I said, why? Give me an explanation. Show us how to understand why you think we should do that. And they responded, because I think it'll work.
Emotional damage.
When I asked, why do you think it will work? Have you seen it work? They said, yeah, my nephew has a friend who showed up to an event like this because they did that to get them to the event. So I think we should do that. And I said, is your nephew's friend the audience that we want for our event? Is that our best customer? Is that the person we want there? And here's one of the first mistakes in marketing today, that if we think it works in one situation, that it should automatically work in another, or that anyone equals everyone. Hey, the logic of it should be clear enough, and that is everyone means no one in particular. If everyone's special, no one's really special. And to segment and to target an audience is critical to today's marketing, that we identify who we are looking for, who our qualified lead is, who our best customer is. But when it comes to marketing, when we just see enthusiasm or engagement in one area, we often say, well, that must work everywhere. And it doesn't. In response to my question, why do you want to do it that way? Their response, because I think it will work, had no data, no track record, no examples. That is, there was nothing to explain except, well, a matter of opinion. Now, if that opinion is from your boss, even though the boss may lack data, even though the boss may say they're data-driven, you're still going to lose that battle. So how do we actually get beyond a phrase like, the danger of a phrase like, because I think it will work, when we get things like personal preferences substituting for, well, things that actually do work? Now, I could pause and ask the ego question and say, why is it that people with no actual experience, no success, no track record in marketing, why do they think that they should be able to have an opinion and to make a choice about what marketing approach will work under what conditions and how it will be executed? They have ideas, for example, about social media. It's free, so it must be easy. It just happens, so there must not be much of investment, and they're just as good as it as somebody else. There's something psychologically behind the way we offer up phrases like, because I think it will work, that influences the way we do so much of our marketing in business and organizations today, and why so much of our marketing fails in our businesses and organizations today. And it all has to do with the unique and important reason that we all struggle with this idea of the marketplace today, and that is because we don't want to be sold things. We're convinced we're buyers. We're not being sold. Eric Johnson, in his book, The Elements of Choice, puts it this way. When we make a choice, it follows the architecture created by designers of decisions. The emotional and thought-linked and even irrational pathways created to market to us, to lead us to a buying or voting or attending outcome. For example, the average grocery store today has more than 40,000 SKUs. Walmart has 75 million different items on their website, but a corner convenience store has just 500 to 1,500 SKUs. In the corner convenience store, we have no variety, but we made this choice in choosing this type of store, and we pay for convenience. But we still believe we've made the choice, that we're in control of that. And the trade-off is we don't know why someone who stocked the store chose the items that they did, except for these are the items that may be readily needed or often needed that I might run out of. But they also choose because of the price margins that they have and that they can take advantage of it. On Walmart's website, we seemingly have too many choices, and we don't think that we are being led to their preferred outcome, even though the flashing indicator of a price reduction may mean that they're trying to move a large quantity of this item and make up for the smaller margin by increasing the volume that is sold. And we still think that we're just discovering things on their 75 million plus SKU webpage, when actually there's an explicit design architecture behind how Walmart or other large retailers will lead us either through their store or through their website when we enter our search terms and say, I'm looking for this. And in the 40,000 SKU grocery store that we frequent every week looking for food that we're going to live on, well, we often face the brand recognition versus the less expensive store brand, and that becomes the main divide, the either or of a brand. Do I feel rich enough to buy the brand? Do I love my children enough to buy the top quality brand in this? Yeah, it's about ego. Or are we going to make that price trade ego decision about choosing the store brand because it's just as good and I'm making a choice to save money? The structure is actually an exercise in our economic egos, and that design is by design. But we're still certain it's because we made the choice. Because we buy, we don't like being sold things. So let's look at how we actually use this in marketing. Now, a lot of emerging, insecure, immature organizations and companies will throw multiple choices out there because they just want to show everything. For example, when we market for an organization that may do 4, 5, 6 different things, but when we only say one thing, we're trying to reach an audience for whom that one thing will be the reason why they want to reach out and connect with an organization. But often people in the organization feel insecure and they say, but we also do 5 or 6 other things. And they'll add, even though they're not on the marketing team, they'll add their own comments to try to compensate and display that kind of insecurity. When we're trying to find what it is our audience will use to engage with us, we often throw everything at them to try to impress them, that we're actually better than the needs of the person we're actually trying to meet. Instead of following basic design architecture where we would give them one choice and only one choice, and we say it 3 times and in 3 different ways. You see, when we give the brain more than 2 options, the brain has to burn calories to figure out, which option am I going to choose? And the more options we give, the more calories our brains have to burn to make those choices, and the fewer choices they will make to engage with your marketing. But if we say, oh, I have this, and I choose this way, but we're actually getting them to just one outcome, one pathway, one way of engaging. We've given them that power, that sense of choice that they're buying, not being sold. But we're actually only giving them the one option that we want them to see. That's how choice architecture works. And that's how we can take advantage of the ego behind marketing and behind phrases like, because I think it will work, and use them to our advantage. So why does this appearance of choice work better than just throw everything at them and let them decide for themselves? Here's a story from an experiment that was done in nursing homes in the 1990s to find out why certain elderly people thrived and why other people suffered when they entered a nursing home. So when they surveyed and examined the behavioral practices that were required in certain nursing homes, they discovered that certain homes decided to take choices away from their residents. And so they were thinking they were going to make it easier for their residents, and they were also going to make it easier for the staff and for people who prepared foods. So one group, for example, had a set menu. They found out that the residents of the nursing home would routinely trade off things, even things that they liked, to create their own meal rather than just being handed a tray complete with everything that the nursing home decided they should eat for that meal. That is, they felt like they were getting something taken away from them. Even if they liked the thing, they would still trade it away so that they had some element of choice, some agency in making this decision. At another nursing home, they bolted everything to the wall, the furniture, the bureaus, the dressers, everything, the chairs to the floor. They found out that residents of the nursing home actually snuck into a maintenance closet, grabbed a crowbar, and started to pry furniture away from the floor and from the wall so that they could rearrange their rooms the way they wanted to. And when the administrator of the nursing home came to them and said, please don't do that anymore, just tell us and we'll have the staff move it for you, the people said, hell no, we're going to move our own furniture, damn it. That is, when you try to even accommodate people by taking away the choice, but you take away their ability to have the perception that they are making a choice, it's not going to work out well for anybody. Hey, and there's one more final subtlety to interacting with a phrase like, I think it will work, and why it's so dangerous in marketing. And that is, it's this idea that we're all convinced that if we come up with the perfect strategy, that our marketing will work. And it gets it wrong. Because it's not a strategy that's going to make your marketing work. It's the execution that will make your marketing work. Yes, execution of a strategy, but often in the execution, we have to adapt, improvise, overcome, hoorah, and we have to actually accomplish things. And when that is the pressure on us to execute, and when we execute, that's where real success is found. Not in a whiteboard strategy session in some boardroom where everybody throws their ideas up and we have this salad of marketing ideas, and somehow the marketer gets that dumped onto their plate and they look and they say, did you get all that? Good businesses, successful organizations stress execution over strategy. They keep strategy to a minimum and they run with execution and what works, and they discover what's working and they do more of what's working. Why? Because even though you think it will work, you don't know until it actually does work. And as soon as it does work, that's the signal. That's what you need to do more of. Hey, and thanks for being part of the Do-Over Show. I appreciate that you're here. And would you please tap the like button, because it really helps. And while you're down there, how about you consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. I'm so glad you found me and I found you. Thanks.